And we're live.
Hey, what's up?
Not much.
Always good to hear.
I don't do anything with my life. I'm very boring.
Ah,
Oh, I
you
left I left a window up. What a dummy.
damn. It's like blocking my shoulder.
Yeah.
Can't believe you.
Ruined
Everything is horrible.
forever.
0 out of 10.
You guys know that I use Firefox now.
If you used
What?
anything else, I'd be disappointed.
Yeah, actually, I don't even like Chrome. I use Chrome on my one laptop because Firefox isn't working right
I know
on
a
that,
lot of
but
people use Chrome. I'm not a fan.
I like the add-ons on Firefox. They're so nice.
Same here.
So, let's intro this thing. So,
Yeah.
is the thing? Oh man. Oh no.
Off to a great start.
No, it's not the 50-second episode. I saved an image and everything.
What did you do?
Fix it later. I'm not taking the
Fix it in
podcast
post.
down. Fix it in post. So, this is the 53rd episode of the Dapper Gaming Podcast for March 20.
I
Third?
asked you to.
Yeah, I thought I had it right. I went in, I did it in Photoshop and things. It exists. The right picture exists. It's March 23rd, not the 16th. So, if anyone's wondering, this is actually live.
Yeah.
Unless we fucked it up last week too, which we did. But fuck it up every week. I fuck it up every week. So, welcome guys to the 53rd episode of the Dapper Gaming Podcast for March 23rd. I'm your host Ryan. With me as always is Joe, aka
What's up?
Badman.
Yeah.
He's a bad dude.
How many times are you gonna make that joke?
Forever.
Okay, good. This is great to know. I can look forward to that every week.
Every week. Well, maybe every second week. That is quite the cup.
Yeah, it's my Halo 2 Slurpee cup from back when Halo 2 was released. It's giant and awesome.
I'm assuming it's made of plastic, right?
Yep.
Okay. Because when you held it close up, it looked kind of like a McDonald's cup. Like, it looked like it was wax. I was like, you
It's
fucking...
just cardboard.
You kidding
I've
me?
kept that the whole time.
You've had that for 3 years? Like, what's... No, it got Halo...
There's just mold all over the inside. It's fine.
It's a Halo 2 cup. This is way more than
Yep.
3 years old.
Definitely more like fucking like
God.
8 years.
Yeah. Yeah. I would be surprised that that cup survived that long.
I take good care of my cups.
Challenge accepted. I'll keep this Dairy Queen cup for the next 8 years.
Oh god, the smells.
The smells. So, what have you been playing this week? You told me that you've been playing all of the games.
I've been playing a lot of games because me and Ryan finally shared our Steam library, so I've been stealing all of his shit.
Dude, so, just to quickly mention, I have a Hat in Time Alpha now that just popped up in my
Yes.
library the other day.
Is it because of me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Does it
So,
work?
I haven't tried playing it yet.
That'd be awesome. That'd be weird if that worked.
Yeah, that'd be so strange.
I know.
I'm doing Steam sharing with one other person, and a lot of games. I have probably more games that are in alpha than you do. I don't like. I have Maya. I have Prison Architect. There's a bunch of prototypes in my account,
Yeah.
and those all popped up, and I was real confused about it. She's like, "What's Maya?" And I was like, "You don't want to play that because it's not." It's not in a suit.
Up in mine too.
It's really good. Like, I love the idea of Maya. Maya is like a Dungeon Keeper-esque sci-fi game. Like, you know the game
Yeah.
Dungeon Keeper, right? Yeah, it's like that.
Yeah.
It's a management game, and it's super cool, but it fucking barely, like, it doesn't barely work. It works pretty well now, but it doesn't really explain anything, so it's kind of hard to play, and it's buggy. So, like, it's not the most playable game,
Yeah.
but
Just like all of the fuck the Double Fine prototypes that you have that I was playing. I played a bunch of those prototypes.
Oh, did you? I played all of those prototypes, but like they're not really games in that they're all prototypes. Like, do you play Space-Based DF9?
No, I played I think Costume Quest and one other one.
Oh, they're turning Space-Based DF9 into an actual game, and the actual game looks like really playable, but the prototype was like you just click and like destroy stuff and build some stuff, and then the stuff doesn't do anything, and then you run out of resources.
But yeah, I've been playing a lot. I tried to play Ace of Spades. It was cool. Definitely not that into it. I like it, but
there's a free version of that game. The older version of that game is much better. What happened with that game is that it was an open source game, and then this company like bought the rights to it and made Ace of Spades. But the open source version is like way better. Like it's
there was an old like free an old free to play game just like that.
Yeah, that's what happened. Is that the free to play one that was old is like an open source game. There's a bunch of different builds of it, and it's really good.
I love that game. Yeah.
And but what happened is that the rights to it got bought by the company that made this one, and it's not nearly as good as the game that they bought. So yeah,
it's weird.
I'm not super sour about buying that game because I bought it for like $1, but I mean, I played it for like half an hour and I was like, this is just not that fun. It's not nearly as good as the like original one, because the original one degrades into like real trench warfare and like people actually start building stuff, and and Ace of Spades, like the best thing you can do is just play the guy with the rock, like with the jetpack, and just not build anything and jetpack at people and shoot them with an SMG.
I was like sniping and SMGing, and I don't know. It was a cool idea, and I enjoyed it, but I didn't enjoy it at the same time. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, like it's sort of like TF2, but it's not as good as TF2. So I'm like, nah, this isn't really worth my time.
Yep. And then I also tried to play Call of Duty Black Ops multiplayer, Black Ops 2, and it might have just been my computer was having trouble running it, but I had all the settings pretty low. But it might have also been that I was watching like 2 streams while I was trying to play it online. That was probably why it was lagging. At first, I thought it was like my computer couldn't handle it. Then I realized I had like 2 streams on at the same time, and I was like, that might be doing it.
Maybe.
So that was Call of Duty Black Ops. I was having fun with that. I was kind of using it because I'm not a mouse shooter. I'm a controller shooter. And I was going to play Call of Duty Black Ops with a controller. And I was like, I'm going to get fucking raped if I use a controller. Everyone else is going to be using a mouse. So I was like, okay, I'll use the mouse, and I'll use Black Ops to like learn how to use the mouse and all that. So that went pretty well, other than the lag. I also played Rush. I thought it was a different game. I downloaded it from you, and it was a puzzle game, and it was completely different than what I thought it was.
Fair enough.
I thought it was my friend had this game where it was kind of like Mirror's Edge, where it was like a running kind of parkour kind of game, where you have to like run as far as you can and then get to like an objective. And it had like the same art style, so I thought it was the same game, especially since it was titled Rush. And then I downloaded it, and there's just like this weird puzzle game, and I was like, you know what? I ended up playing. How long did I play? I played it for like almost an hour, and I enjoyed it while I was playing it.
Yeah, I've got lots of weird stuff that I like just buy during Steam sales where I'm bored. And it's like, oh well, this thing's on sale for 50 cents. Okay.
I can tell. I also downloaded. We were talking about this last week. I downloaded Serious Sam: The Random Encounter. I hate it.
You hate it?
I don't like it.
It's nothing like Serious Sam.
Nope, nothing at all.
It's a Final Fantasy game.
Yep, I don't like it. Let's just put it that way. I also downloaded and played Costume Quest, which is one of the Double Fine prototypes, and I beat it.
There's an actual Costume Quest game, which is complete and much better. I don't own it,
then
though.
I'll have to play that. I'll have to get that. Because I was playing it, I was enjoying it, and then I beat, like, the final guy, and then the game just kind of, like...
Ended?
Just kind of ended. And it, like,
there's
set me
an
back in the town, and there's nothing to do. Yeah, so I walked out of the map, and then just fell off of the map, and that's how I ended my time with that game.
Yeah, there's an actual Costume Quest game. they released it as like a small $5 title during Halloween a couple years ago, and it was like on Xbox Live. Costume Quest is actually like a good game for what it is. I should buy it when I see it on a Steam sale again, because I played it at a friend's house like just overnight once, and I mean it's worth having.
Other than that, I also downloaded Hawken because it just went free to play for everyone. If you don't have Hawken, download that shit because it's awesome. I played one match and I really enjoyed it. It was amazing. Best mech shooter out there at the moment. Fuck Titanfall. Titanfall is amazing for like fucking parkour 1v. Like Titanfall should just be the parkour, no Titans. That's what Titanfall should be.
Yeah, like the thing that I like about
system in Titanfall is amazing.
The thing that I really like about Hawken is like the movement in it, because you get like these big giant North American style mechs, but they like move like Asian mechs, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
like Asian mech games are like
really
faster
slowly.
mechs,
Yeah.
and I like that they move like that. Even though there's a lot of like North American mech mechanics behind it, where they seem like they're slower and clunkier, but they're not.
Well, when they start up, they're like if you're just walking, you're not like boosting everywhere like pretty much everyone does. You like start up slowly and then you get faster and faster. I only played one match and I actually did decently well for my first match. I was like third on my team and I got 1 kill and I died 0 times and my assists were like fucking off the charts.
Yeah, that game's just super cool. I want to get back into it now that there's people playing it again, like more people playing it, because now that it's open, I can actually play it with friends. So
definitely, especially since it's free, I don't have to like play it off of your account, so we can play it together now. So that'll be awesome. We'll have to do that sometime. I love Hawken.
It's really good it's really good looking too. For like a free to play game.
That was another game that I tried to play with the controller. Didn't happen. I started up the tutorial using the controller, again, just because I'm a controller guy and I'm used to it. The tutorial is only in keyboard buttons. So if you want to figure out how to play with the controller, you got to figure out the buttons for yourself.
I guess it's not... That game's still in beta, so I mean, I wouldn't be super mad about the tutorial not being complete, but...
Yeah. The biggest problem I found is that there is, like, in the tutorial, it's like, okay, press the space bar to glide in the air. And I'm like, okay, well, I gotta fucking fly up in the air. I'm assuming that's going to be the A button. I couldn't find a single button on the controller to fucking fly. Like, not one. Not a single button. I pressed, like, every button, just nothing. I was like, well, okay, I'm just gonna use the mouse and keyboard now. So I was playing that. The game that I've been playing the most, though, which I've put like 4 hours into already, Borderlands 2. I am loving that game. I've played Borderlands 1 for a while, and then I stopped playing it, and my friend recommended playing Borderlands 2 instead because it's a lot better and a lot easier to get into. So I started playing Borderlands 2, and I'm loving it. I'm like 4 hours in. I chose like the ninja guy. And right now I'm going with like a melee build where like I'm trying to do like the most amount of critical / melee damage because I just love running up to the guys all ghost-like and then fucking slice him with a sword and one hit killing him.
Yeah, I tried. I never got really into Borderlands. I bought that game because I did a review on it when I was working for this one site, and like, I didn't really like it.
I know.
I played the ninja and I tried to do a melee build, and then I just like got stuck on bosses that were like impossible to kill because I wasn't playing the right class. It's basically like if you didn't play Commando or whatever, the one with the sentry turret, then you were fucked. If you were like playing by yourself, I was like, well, I don't have anyone else to play this with right now, so I guess I'm just gonna go to bed now because I can't kill this boss.
I haven't gotten to that point yet, so I'm enjoying it so far. If I get to that point,
it's like if you get
I'll be pissed.
Yeah, you get to the end of Act 1, and this boss is a giant robot, and it infinitely spawns robots, and you just can't you run out of ammo, and you just can't kill it. Because, like, you have to kill all of the other robots that are coming at you, because they're going to kill you otherwise, and they're infinitely spawning, so they'll overwhelm you, and you can't kill the giant robot fast enough, so you have to kill some of these guys, and
you're out of ammo.
Yeah,
I have like
but if you're
super
playing
OP
like
grenades, so I'm not too worried about that.
if you're playing Commando though, then you're just like lol sentry gun and nothing kills you, and then you can just focus fire to this one guy, and it's just like, god damn it! Like
I like got super lucky with my grenade pickups at the start, and I got like a really rare cluster grenade that does like a crazy amount of damage. So I just
nice.
like I have like 10 guys come at me. I'm like, well, I could pull out my pistol and kill all these guys one by one, or I could throw this one grenade and kill all 10 of them in like 2 seconds. So that's I've been enjoying that. Let's just put it that way. I know a lot of people who are like, well, the first game was really boring, and the second game was just like too much shooting. Like they send too many enemies at you, and I'm like, I'm enjoying it. Let's just put it that way. I'm loving it. Um, but I think that's about all I've been playing lately. My birthday's in like 3 days, so I'm gonna be getting Xbox Live, and I'm gonna be playing a shit ton more of Plants vs Zombies soon. So that's gonna be a thing.
Well, happy early birthday,
Why? Thank you.
because we're not podcasting on your birthday.
No, no, we're not. I'm working all through my birthday, which is gonna suck, but whatever.
I moved the podcast to my birthday because I know I'm going out that night and I'm not going to want to wake up the next day to do the podcast. So I'm
Sounds
doing
like a
it
good idea.
before I get so drunk that I don't want to move.
Jeez.
But
So, what have you been playing?
man, this week I played Path of Exile. I played a whole ton of Path of Exile, damn it. So Path of Exile, if you don't know what it is like it's a free-to-play Diablo-like. I think of it as like the closest thing to like a Diablo 2 sequel that we're ever gonna get. Because like you look at Diablo 3, there's a little more color in it. It's like not quite as like grim, dark, gothic as Diablo 2 was. But Path of Exile is all dark. Like it's just dark. It's a dark game, and it's pretty gothic, and it's also got probably the best mechanics of all of the like Diablo-like games out there. Like I'm thinking, if I think Diablo games right now, I'm thinking Path of Exile, Torchlight 2, and Diablo 3. And I think Path of Exile has all of the mechanics that I'm actually looking for that Diablo 3 doesn't really have and that Torchlight 2 doesn't really have. I think leveling up in that game is amazing. If you are really into math and you love sphere grids, then Path of Exile is the game for you, because what they have in that game, so you pick a class, but every class has the same passive tree. There's only one passive tree in this game, and it's a huge like sphere grid with thousands of nodes, and you just like go through this grid and you can spec any way you want basically, because everyone has the same passive tree, so you can use any equipment and use any skills. You just have to spec correctly within the tree. And if you choose a different class, you start at like a different point in the tree. And so right now I'm playing through with a Scion, which is actually the blank class. Like they start right in the middle of the tree, and they don't start with like any like extra stats or anything. And
I remember
so
you telling me this.
yeah, and so you can start with like you can build like the craziest and best characters with the Scion class. So I'm gonna do that. Because I've got a bunch of like unique drops that work really well together, so I'm gonna make a new character so that I can use them, because they don't really work on the character that I have. Because I like the drops that I got are all for like a tanky character, and I'm playing like an archer as my main. So, but I've been playing that. I'm trying to get my one friend into that because that game's super fun, especially with friends. They just reset the league. They just reset the leagues in that. They have leagues where like you go up a ladder and like the people at the top of the ladder get unique gear that no one else gets. The gear doesn't like do anything stats wise. It's like a cosmetic chain like piece of equipment, but only like 3 people get it. Like the top 3 people on the ladder get it.
Huh.
And they run a ladder for like 6 months. I've just been really enjoying Path of Exile, and then I've been playing a little bit more South Park: Stick of Truth.
Yep.
Just to remind me about certain things, like to go back to certain places and get notes, and because I have like 8 hours of footage from that game because I just recorded the whole thing when I played it. But I'm writing my review for that. I started writing it today. I have like notes on it from before, from when I was playing it, but I'm actually like writing the review now, and I think I should have that done in like a week or two.
I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be my longest review so far because it's like the largest, most complete game that I've done for a review. In that the first, like, now that I'm doing like on camera reviews and like pre-scripting them heavily.
Yeah.
Because the last two games have both been indie games, and so they've only ended up being like 9 minutes long as reviews. I think this should probably end up being double that because there's like a lot more there mechanically to talk about. So
yeah. Shut up, train. I wanna like review newer games, but I'm poor. I would have loved to do a video on Stick of Truth, or I really, really want to do a fucking video on Titanfall, but I can't afford it, which just sucks.
Yeah, and like the thing about Titanfall is that if you're not doing like the PC version or the Xbox One version, then like you might as well not talk about it. Yeah. Because I feel like no one cares about the 360 version.
I think it's the complete opposite. I think the 360 version is going to be the most
I think it's going to be the most popular version because there's more 360s than anything else. But
I don't. I think the PC version will be the most popular, but I think the 360 will definitely outsell and beat the PC or the
Xbox One version. Yes. Purely just because of the console numbers. I mean, there's how many Xbox 360s versus Xbox Ones? Like there's like 5 million Xbox Ones, not even, and there's tens of millions. Yeah.
Now the question is, how many of those are Red Ring?
I don't know.
Too many.
30%.
Probably. But yeah, I'm excited to see how the 360 version looks and if it plays any differently. Because a completely different company took it on, so they could have went out of their way and changed some stuff.
I don't think it's going to play differently. I just think it's going to look substantially worse and probably not have the frame rate that you want to like have an enjoyable experience. Like, I've been playing FPS on PC for so long that it really bugs me if I'm not at 60 frames. And like, because I can feel it in the response time, like it doesn't function how I want it to function. But
I have trouble noticing like differences in FPS, like frames per second. That's like the one thing I've never been able to notice while playing a game. I don't know why. I can go from playing a game that's like 60 FPS to go play a game that's 30 FPS. I don't notice a difference.
30 FPS isn't even that bad. Depends on the genre. I can't do FPS at I can't do a first person shooter at 30 frames. Because I'm so used to playing Counter-Strike, and you can feel it in the response time. Especially in a mouse, because it's like not there quickly enough, the input.
I guess I'm just used to it because I was brought up on Halo 1, Halo 2, Halo 3, Halo Reach, which were all at 30 frames per second.
Yeah. The thing is that like Titanfall, the 360 version, there's going to be those frame dips that I would expect to be pretty nasty.
I don't know. I think I could probably see it running at I can see it running at a straight 30.
You'd have to have a pretty low resolution.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. The resolution is going to be so low. Jesus. It's going to be sub 720p without a doubt.
Halo 4 runs at 60 FPS, and it runs very smoothly, so Titanfall might be able to do the same thing. But again, Halo 4 was also 2 separate discs.
Yeah, I don't know. It's gonna
we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, we're gonna just have to see how it plays out.
It'll be interesting for sure.
Yeah, I've just been playing Stick of Truth and Path of Exile because Path of Exile right now is like my go-to game to. I played Anno 2070 this week. Because we talked about it last week a little bit. I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know.
It's the city building, like trading ship game. because
Yep.
Anno 2070 is based in the year 2070 and the world's flooded, and so you just have like these tiny islands and you have to like build these cities so that you can like get food and stuff. It's fun. I really like the Anno games. But if you're not really into city builders or like really slow games, then
Yep.
it's not probably your thing.
Definitely, probably not for me.
So you want to jump into a little bit of news?
Yeah, let's do some news.
There's not been too much like
Yeah,
over the
I
last
haven't really-
month.
I haven't really read any. Well, there's a lot last week, but
There's a little bit. So
not. There hasn't been a lot.
a game that I'm really excited about, Pillars of Eternity by Obsidian. They had a big Kickstarter campaign last year for it called Project Eternity. They didn't have a name for the game yet. It's like an old school D&D style CRPG, like computer RPG. And like all of the environments are hand painted like 2D environments, and then they like impose the characters on them. If you play like the original Baldur's Gate games or the original Neverwinter Nights games, and it's like that before they went like full 3D.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be like that. And they just announced that they are partnering with Paradox Interactive, who are a publisher that may publish Magicka.
Magicka's good.
And they published Dungeonland. They published Warlock, I think is what it's called. I have all of those games in my library. That's why I mentioned them. They publish a lot of interesting games that are not super popular, but like are most definitely niche games. They're known mostly for doing their like grand strategy stuff. God, what's the Crusader Kings or whatever?
I know Magicka.
That's whatever.
Okay.
Fair enough. But they're partnering with Paradox Interactive to publish Pillars of Eternity. So I'm excited to get Pillars of Eternity, and I just want it so bad. I just want it so bad.
I hope it's good.
It's also going to ship this year, they said. Like, it's absolutely going to ship this year, so.
This year's going to be a good year for games. There's definitely a lot of good games coming out.
Yeah, this year's also, like, very much the year where we kind of find out whether or not kickstarting games was at all a good idea.
Yeah.
Because all of the Kickstarter games are going to either come out or not come out, and if they don't come out, or they do come out and they're bad, then we've all learned our lesson and we'll never do it again.
So far, it's turning out pretty good because Banish came out, and from what you said, that game is great.
That game wasn't Kickstarter, I didn't think.
I thought it... Oh, okay,
no.
Maybe not. What was the game that you were interested in that was Kickstarted?
God, there were a few games that got kickstarted, but none of them were really out yet. Broken Age came out, sort of.
Yeah, Broken Age was good. Hat in Time is good. So both of those have been good so far. So far we're looking good. And I'm so excited for Hat in Time. I need more of that game. I need more now.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna hold off on that and just wait until it's like done.
I would
too. There's a Wii U version of that coming out, right? Yeah, there is. No, I think it was the stretch goal, and they passed it.
Yeah, I remember that. That one, that was going to be one of their stretch goals.
And I'm pretty sure they passed it. So
yeah, they had basically they got like.
But that game's supposed to have co-op, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was like 2 to 4 player co-op or something.
Yeah, then I might get the Wii U version of that just to like do couch co-op.
Yeah. It's.
Because that's why I own my Wii U, basically. It's like Monster Hunter, couch co-op. So, because it's great for that. It's the only system that is offering that kind of an experience right now.
Yeah.
And
after the PS2, a lot of the consoles just kind of moved away from split screen, which was very upsetting to me. There's not like after the PS2, it was pretty much like if I wanted to play something with my friend and we had like a hangout or a sleepover or whatever, I'd have to bring a TV and my Xbox to play with him as he sits next to me with his TV and his Xbox. It's like, can we just have a split screen, please? How hard is that to put in a video game?
Yeah, well, it's really hard.
Yeah, I know.
It's really hard actually.
But they did it for
The
like
performance,
every PS2 game.
yeah, and the performance is probably real ass. That's the thing that's really hard about it is also at the time it was kind of expected. So
Yeah,
the only way to do multiplayer at the time, because online was pretty undeveloped, was
yeah,
that you had to have split screen. But you don't need that anymore because everyone has the internet, so you can get away with it. Because the performance hit if you go into split screen is like pretty harsh. So,
yeah.
but whatever.
I did enjoy it though. Brought a lot of good memories with friends. Me getting my ass kicked in Mortal Kombat. It's great memories.
Yeah, those games are always going to be the local player games though.
Yeah.
You can't play fighting games online. It's frustrating.
Lag is not cool with fighting games. It never has been.
Nah, it kills them. So, IGF was this week, or last week, actually. But
IGF.
yeah, the Independent Games Festival.
Okay, I was close.
And so they did their awards this week. And did you play Papers, Please? Or do you know what Papers, Please is?
Yeah, I know what it is. I saw that you had it. I thought of downloading it a couple times, but I don't know. The game doesn't interest me enough to download it.
It looks boring, but when you play it, it's strangely addictive.
I look at it and it reminds me of Cookie Clicker. I don't know why.
The narrative of that game is very bizarre. And
the concept of the game in general is kind of bizarre.
Oh yeah, it's one of those games. My friend used this term. He's not even a friend, so I shouldn't say a friend. Acquaintance, I guess. I only met the dude once, and he used the term "too real," like as a genre, and it's perfect. Like Octodad is a game that's too real in that you're trying to control this octopus, and the controls are fucking broken as shit because it's too real. And Papers, Please is another one of those games where it's too real. Like, you're just clicking and dragging paper around. Too real, man. And, like, clicking buttons with a mouse. And so the controls seem really harsh, but it's just because the game's too real. But it makes it makes that game really tense as a result. And, like, when I get there in the morning, like, I lay out all my papers nicely so that they're all organized how I want them to be. Like, there's a lot of bizarre things that go on in Papers, Please, but that game is worth playing at least a little of because the narrative's so good. I don't want to totally spoil it, but so Papers, Please ended up actually winning a bunch of awards at IGF, which is why I mentioned it.
Nice.
Because Papers, Please won the Seamus McNally Grand Prize. It won the Excellence in Design and the Excellence in Narrative Award. But that's a game that I really enjoyed. I spent a day, actually 2 days. It took me 2 days to beat it. I played it for 3 hours one day and then 3 hours the next day, and then I was done. But it's worth playing. It was a solid experience.
I've already downloaded a bunch of games in the last 2 or 3 days, so I probably should stop before I kill my bandwidth.
Yeah, play through some of those other games first.
Yeah, I definitely will. I got my bandwidth sucks. I have an 80 gigabyte max.
Oh yeah, you were saying that's crazy.
Yep.
I'm on a broadband 100 plan, So I get a terabyte.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I think like I could pay like I was talking to my mom, she's not interested, but we could pay like $10 more and we can get like 300 gigabytes with twice the speed and like 5 times the upload. But she's not interested because she like we just personal stuff.
I pay the internet bill, so
yeah.
So that's how that worked out.
If I made money, I would pay the internet bill.
I don't make any money. I just need the faster internet.
I pay the internet with my $0.
Yeah, pretty much. So Sony announced a virtual reality headset.
Yes, they did.
For the PlayStation 4.
It looks good. Like the design.
It looks strange.
I think it looks comfortable. I think it looks better than the fucking Oculus.
What, dude? I love the developer Oculus that has like the rivets in it, where you can see all of the rivets that hold the front on. I'm like, yeah, I love it.
It's like a fucking blindfold. I think it
looks
horrible.
Cool. I like it. I like it. It looks like a mech helmet.
I think it looks horrible. I think it looks like someone took like fucking goggles and then just like drilled a fucking like metal plate on top of the goggles so you can't see. Like it looks like the most thrown together thing ever. I don't like the design. Sorry to whoever designed the Oculus, but it looked like you were like, okay, let's take these goggles and then put a metal platform in front of the goggles and then put the video screens inside of the goggles. Done. At least the PS4 one. I think the PS4 one looks really fucking sexy. Sleek and sexy. It looks like it'll stay on the head really well the way it's designed. It doesn't look too heavy in the front. It looks like it has some nice back support.
Did you see the current visuals of that headset? Because it just looks like an Oculus.
I'm going to open it up and relook at it. That looks nothing like an Oculus. Nothing at all.
Are you talking about the like concept design or the actual prototype? Because I'm talking about the actual prototype that they unveiled. That is basically just has a PlayStation Move on the top and then a giant like aluminum thing on your face.
I'm looking at... God damn it. I'm looking at this. I'll send it to you, and then you can tell me if I'm fucking crazy or what. Oh, no.
That's the wrong button.
Yeah, that's definitely the wrong button. Sorry about that, people. I turned off my camera by accident. I think that's the right link.
That's the concept design. That's not the actual prototype.
Okay. I thought that's what I saw. That looks cool. That looks a lot better than the fucking Oculus design.
No, it's like a giant... It looks the current prototype looks exactly like Oculus, except fucking shitty because it's just like aluminum plates.
Well, I think the Oculus just looks horrible.
Whatever.
But yeah, it's cool. Definitely more people are getting into the virtual reality stuff. Just because Oculus is doing it, it's becoming so popular, and it's really cool. I'm really excited for it.
Yeah, I think it should hopefully turn out all right. I mean, next year is like the year that we'll know, pretty much. Because it seems like a lot of those projects are trying to come out next year rather than this year.
Yeah. So. From like everything I've seen being done with the Oculus, it looks really cool. I've heard because I know people who talk to JonTron and all that, and they've been able to play around with his Oculus. They said Sonic the Hedgehog, fucking coolest thing ever with the Oculus Rift. The 3D ones, that is. Because the speed and the loops that you do and all that, you can look around while you're in the loops, and it's... From what I've heard, it's a really cool experience.
Oh man, too fast. Too fast.
Not fast enough. I can just imagine the speedrunners playing that with the Oculus Rift. That would be too fast.
Alrighty. So there's not really any other news that I think is any good. People made announcements of announcements. Like Phil Spencer's like, we're gonna announce something regarding Windows and video games in 2 months. It's like, well, who cares then?
Just wait and announce it. God damn you people and your announcing announcements.
Yeah, it's the worst. It's the worst thing. It's the worst trend.
Well, thanks internet for all the amazing news this week.
Yeah, it's hard to do a gaming podcast because fucking nothing's happening. Like all the there was stuff to talk about all winter because it's like the new consoles came out.
Yeah,
and then they just didn't have any games.
Oh, didn't Infamous the new? Infamous
oh yeah, Second Son came out.
Yeah, I heard that's really good.
Yeah, I heard it was really good. But it's not like the one complaint that I've heard about it is that like everyone wanted this to be the game that kind of shows that this is the next generation. It's the same complaint that people had with Titanfall, but it's a last generation game that just looks prettier, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I remember, I think it was Boogie said that it's pretty much the best next gen game that's come out so far.
Yeah, that's probably true, depending on
there's not a lot of
your opinion of like.
Yeah, if you're like an FPS guy,
your opinion of the Wii U, I think.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Would be that like, cause I think you'd be really hard pressed to argue that 3D World is not the best game of the current gen, in that it was like competitor for Game of the Year last year with stuff like The Last of Us and BioShock Infinite, but also that game has like one of the fucking highest Metacritic scores of all time.
That game is
it's so good.
Nintendo's definitely winning next gen in good games, but it's also been out a year longer, so
yeah, I'm just
I don't think we're gonna get a next gen release that'll blow everyone away and they'll be like, this is next gen until fucking Destiny
until at least
out.
winter.
I think Destiny is gonna be one of the games that it like really hits home with what next gen can do. All those big open world games are probably going to be what really hits it. What's the race one? The Crew, that'll probably be another one. And the other one where Tom Clancy's whatever.
Oh, The Division.
Yeah, I think that'll be another one. Like those kind of games, I think those will be some of the ones that really push it to really show what next gen is. But none of those are coming out for a while, so we'd still have a bit to wait.
Yeah, and like The Witcher 3, I think that's going to be a big deal because that's going to be the biggest. Skyrim is a huge game world, and The Witcher 3 is apparently like 3 times the size of that.
I think a lot of the games just coming. You go ahead.
Oh, like the way that they've described how The Witcher 3 plays out its narrative, I think that's going to be. It's very much an evolution on what was last gen, where like your narrative changes based on your decisions, except that this is like a step past it, where it's like your decisions can result in you not seeing the narrative, like, or getting a completely different story, because there's apparently like 3 different campaigns in The Witcher 3, and you can do one of them, but the other 2 you miss because you're off doing this one campaign, and these other 2 aren't gonna like stop for you, if that makes sense. And so like there's 3 completely different stories in that game, and I think that's very like that's similar to the kind of pathing to like the branching narrative that we got from like Mass Effect, except that they have the balls to not tie it all together at the end and make it a single narrative anyways. Like and they're making like this huge game. It sounds like it's kind of the first real evolution in mechanics, I guess, or at least in storytelling. If you view how the narrative plays out to cut off parts of the game to you as a mechanic thing, then it's like the first real evolution in mechanics for the next generation.
It pretty much like would have like what you're explaining is pretty much what Mass Effect would have been like if all of your decisions since the first game actually meant something, like they explained it would be.
Yeah,
but none of that happened.
I think that's probably one of the reasons why I'm so excited for The Witcher 3 is just because it's like you have the thing that I really like about CD Projekt Red is that they have the willingness to tell the player that you can't see everything. Yeah. Like I like games where they say, "Oh, well, you can't do both things. Like you cut off content because of people's decisions. That makes the decisions meaningful. If you don't cut off content, then it didn't matter because there's no no repercussion to the choice."
And it adds a shit ton of replayability because you make that decision, you beat the game, you're like, now I'm gonna make a different decision. Instead of fucking that girl, I'm gonna kill her. And next thing you know, you're Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
that was the most horrible explanation ever.
Yeah,
it was racist and religious at the same time.
I'll agree with it being a bad explanation, but I'm
a horrible human being.
I'm pretty excited for that game.
Yep. But I currently think all the next gen games are pretty much just this gen games that were pushed to next gen.
Yeah, I mean, some of them are obviously not. Like, I would say Second Son probably isn't.
Yeah.
But what it is that it's a sequel that has to like a franchise that has fans basically in order to like sell more units.
Pretty much like I think like Second Son and like Killzone, they were like, okay, let's come up with the idea for the next PS3 Killzone, and then the PlayStation came up to them and they're just like, we need an Xbox One game. And they're like, okay, let's use this idea for the PS4 game, and that's just how it happened. That's how I feel like most of the games coming out at the moment happened.
So let's jump into some questions here, and then
we have one question.
We have one question. Maybe they can ask us more questions.
Yeah,
but
ask questions.
Have you played any of the Persona games, and what do you think of the upcoming games, as in Persona 4 Arena, Persona Q, Persona 4 Arena 2, and Persona Q, and Persona 5? Because, Persona 4 Arena is a thing that already exists.
Yep. I haven't played any of the Personas. I have like 50 people tell me every day that I need to play them and I should get them and I should play them. But no, haven't played them yet.
You and I are in the same boat, except actually, I'm not going to play them because I don't own anything to play them on. So, just not going to happen.
I have played Persona 4 a little bit. My friend had it on PS Vita, and I played it for maybe like 20 minutes, and I didn't even get anywhere into the game. Didn't fight anything.
Yeah, because that game's like
game mechanics.
140 hours long.
Yep.
20 minutes is nothing.
I know. Basically, like, I got on a bus, and then like things happened, and I was at a guy's house, and then then the party I was at started. So I was like, okay, so fuck you, bye.
Yeah, I'm just not even gonna get into those games because they're so far along, and I don't I could watch the animes, I guess, and then play the new one. But
I feel like I could definitely just like jump into Persona 4 and enjoy it, but I'd have to get Persona 4. I don't even know what
if I wanted to play Persona
4,
Vita and PlayStation 3, I think.
Yeah, I don't own either of those.
Yeah, me neither. So I'm just not gonna play them. I'm not super. I've heard great things about them. I like Atlas games, but whatever.
Yeah. I'm assuming there's no more questions.
No one ever emails us. No one likes me.
No, it's okay. Maybe they'll email me. No, I'm just lying. No one emails me either.
Yeah.
It's all right. We like each other. Maybe
we can talk
for an hour to 2 hours every once in a while.
We're almost at the 1 hour mark. We're so close.
There's like 4 minutes left. We're so
Yeah,
close.
it's okay. We can wrap up if you want to wrap up. I don't really have anything else to say. There wasn't a lot to like going on this week. I mean, GDC happened, but it was like how to monetize mobile games and how to catch whales. And I was like,
oh, there's that one announcement where there's a mobile game now that has streaming, like the PS4 and Xbox have.
oh
There's
yeah,
mobile.
Twitch is doing that.
Yeah, there's a mobile game now that has that.
I wouldn't want to watch that. Not even remotely interested in watching that.
I feel like a lot of people are going to try to do that on 3G and get really horrible bills in their mail.
Potentially.
It'll also be weird because like if the game you're playing needs to like be played sideways like this, the camera is going to be like totally off and weird because
and under your hand.
Yeah, I know. You're like, oh, I'm blocking the like just. It doesn't work. It's gonna be
Flappy
weird.
Bird might come back.
And it's like you're gonna be like shaking the fucking thing while you're playing it. People are gonna throw up. This is a definite. And Flappy birds might come back.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Oh wow.
Whatever.
I don't think many people care anymore.
Let's just wrap this up. We don't need to talk about phone games because
no, we don't.
I'll end myself.
There's one or two good phone games, but other than that, they're all
Knights of Pen and Paper. That's a good game.
And Slayer. That's about it.
Yeah.
All right, let's end this.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching the 53rd episode of the Dapper Gaming Podcast for March 23rd. I've been your host, Ryan. With me, as always, has been Joe.
Sup?
Let us remind you that if you have any questions for us, you can either email them to me at ryan@dappergaming.com. That's ryan@dappergaming.com. We'll answer literally any questions you ask.
You should probably put that information on the template somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere eventually, one day.
We'll do that later.
It's in the description. It's in the file description. Like if you download the audio version, it's in there. But also if you're listening to the audio version of this, leave us an iTunes review, you know? Totally helps. Super useful. And we will see you guys next week. So thanks for watching.
Peace out. See ya.